Well, hey, YouTube, it's Petey Two Finger. I got something special happening probably tomorrow, so you're going to want to tune in for that. This morning I got up early. I watched this Nick Cage movie, which is called the. It's a weird name for a movie, and that's not it. Let me see if I can find the movie. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So this is a Nicolas Cage film that just came out. I'm not a Nicolas Cage's funny meme guy. This movie has, as a matter of fact, I haven't seen a real, I didn't see Ghost Rider. I may have saw that Con Air once. I remember that was an entertaining film. Con Air was a lot of fun to watch. But I'm not like, oh, Nick Cage. I did see Protocol. I did see the Shamalama Ding Dong one where his kids flew off with the space aliens at the end. I did see the vampire one, his first movie. My brother was raving about it. But I'm not. Mandy, I was really impressed by Mandy, but it had nothing to do with Nick Cage. The Cheddar Goblin was great, and the psychedelic stuff in there was really horrifically terrifying and kind of realistic. Mandy was a really good movie. I liked that Pig movie a lot, but this movie is, in my opinion, Nick Cage's best role. Most entertaining. I am not a homosexual. I have children. I have a daughter. I have two daughters. And so I was able to identify with this movie. Rather than some of the critics I saw that panned this movie, I think they did that because they're not married guys that have kids. They're homosexuals that don't like people who have kids. So I think this is the type of movie anybody could watch and be thoroughly entertained. It did, at first I didn't like it. It had this Hollywood stink on it. But I ended up really enjoying it. Pedro Pascal, the guy who plays the Mandalorian, is his sidekick in this movie, and he is really a wonderful actor. And Nick Cage does an outstanding job. Everything that you want to see him do, all of the weird, crazy behavior that no one would ever really act that way. It's in spades in this movie. I'm actually going to watch it again tonight. I'm going to watch it with my wife. So definitely, if you have the time, you're looking for something good to watch, you can find that on the gray area streaming services, such as lookmovies.com. And again, the title of this turkey is, it got really good reviews. It should have gotten better, I think. I think it got, for a while it had 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's down to 87 now, and I think it had a 7.2. That's because people are trashing it. But it's almost like a modern day, what's that one? Zoo's Petals.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's kind of a little bit like that, similar. But it's an action movie comedy, buddy comedy, Nicolas Cage acting loony, that type of thing. So definitely check that out. I've been insanely busy here. Today we went running around. I did garbage pick some wood out of some dumpsters. I use gloves and I have a grabber device. So I got exactly kind of what I needed. It was close enough to it. We're completely rebuilding the pedal board for Gomti. I ordered a Tom's Line bass limiter. Hopefully that is going to help out with this issue I've had with this bass since I bought it when I was 17. This bass, I have a love and hate relationship with it because when you play a C, it just disappears. When you play the G, it will blow the speakers out. Same thing with an F or an E. And I'm thinking the limiter is the last thing I have to try. So when I built the first pedal board, I built it with tuner, auto wah, distortion, compressor, preamp, and cab sim. Now the preamp has an XLR out, and that's facing the wrong way if you're going to use a 90. Like let's say this was the pedal, and the 90 cable on the output side would come out and go down. Well, I needed to come out and go up. So that means that it needs to be flipped around. So last night I took the jack out, the XLR jack, and unscrewed it and flipped it around and reinstalled it. So I've got a 90 cable coming in. I'm waiting on a chain breaker and a bicycle chain. I got, the chain breaker was $3. The chain was $3.50. So I did really good on that. And the idea is you use this chain breaking tool, you screw this thing and it pops the links apart, and you end up with what's left is these small figure eight pieces of steel that have holes in them, just perfect size for a screw, for a fastener. So you unscrew the pedal, take the screw out, and you put that one of the 8 parts there, put the screw back in. So then you have another loop. So you end up with 4 loops on this, and you set this down and run screws into the wood material if you're going to make a pedal board homemade and make it out of wood. So this is off the ground. It's got like kind of like rails that it sits on, and there's battery packs underneath it. I built one already with 6 pedals, and I forgot, I did not consider a noise gate. And when she would engage the distortion, there would be enough noise to bother me. So we got a cheap noise gate, and now I'm getting, and that there really was no room anywhere on the pedal board, so I had to put it on the back side. And it's fine, but you know, it's kind of hanging out like on the back, and like I'm just worried about it. It's the pedal, the safety of it physically being mounted to the back side of this and transport and all that. So once I came to the realization we really need to try a different auto wah. And that auto wah is this. We played 2 times at Sam Ash. They have an open mic, and each player gets a $10 gift card. Well, we had 4 people in my family band, so I made $80 going up there playing 2 songs. That was the most money I ever made professionally for my whole career. And I got this as a used. It was in their used pedals. I picked this up for $60. So this is the Boss AW3. Hopefully this will work out on the bass. It's a bass input and a guitar input, and there's a expression pedal too, which I don't think we'll be using. So the thing about Boss pedals is they turn on really nice. It's just nice for your feet. So today, like, we ran out and garbage picked this wood. We had to go and get some black spray paint and cut these pieces of wood to size and then sprayed them in the back. Did some yard work here, trimming up some of the bushes are already growing out into the, there's a sidewalk path to the from my back patio. At night I can take garbage out after the sun goes down, and I enjoy taking these little walks and keeping the house clean. And the bushes grow into the path, so when you walk there, you have to walk in the grass, or you'll be bushes and leaves and spiders and shit rubbing on your arm. So I go out there a couple times a year and cut that stuff down. So we did that today. We also are waiting, like I said, in 2 days. I got a big thing going on tomorrow, and you're going to see that video event. 2 days, the chain breaker and the chain should come in. That'll help out for mounting this stuff. But I'm not sure when the bass limiter pedal is going to come. I may have to substitute or put a blank spot where the limiter is going to go, and then wire it in when it comes. Like provide a power jack for it and just tape that down momentarily until it arrives. But yeah, we're rebuilding that pedal board for Gopti, and I'm going to be switching the order of the, right now it's like there's a preamp and then the last pedal is the cab sim. Now the preamp has that XLR out, and I want to use that to go to the mixing board. So I'm going to flip-flop. I'm going to run the cab sim before the preamp, And we are replacing the Snow White Ottawa that I modified for bass with this. And I gotta see, like, is it compressor then limiter? Probably. Then, like tuner, Ottawa, compressor, limiter, distortion, cab sim, preamp is what I have in mind. And then by flipping that jack, the 90 cable, the 90 XLR will come out of the pedal and go north, which is where I need the cable to run to, just with the layout, where the mixing board sits physically. The other way, it would be going completely the wrong way. So I've got stuff coming. I got another pair of headphones coming for our indoor rig. I still haven't tried the new EQ with the defeatable BBE chip, the sonic maximizer, and this equalizer that I built. I have to put a bypass on the BBE sonic chip that I installed in the MP3 that plays our backing tracks in the indoor rig. Because now running two of those might be too much in the same audio line. And I also have a preamp coming that I'm going to install internally on the MP3, which when you turn our MP3 on, it plays at a level of 15, and then you can turn it up to 30, and we do that. We turn it up because it's quiet. It doesn't match our instruments. So this way, maybe with this preamp, I could just adjust it with a volume level, and we could run it at that 15, and it would be less things for me to have to remember. I mean, it was $1.32 for the preamp board, and I can install that in about, realistically, getting all the tools out and everything, it's about a half-hour job. So it's worth it for me. Now, one of the other things that we did today, it's worth mentioning, I do the maintenance for the building here, some of it, and every few years you have to replace these seal lead acid batteries, and then we have a bunch of them that die. Plus, I used to run this boat, and a pedal boat with all kinds of electronics. We had a kicker box on it with sound system, a disco ball, floodlights. We had Bosch 100-watt halogen fog lamps in the front. We would run a television, video game systems. I had a slot car track with a camera that would telecast the slot car racing to a 5-inch color monitor on the dash of a pedal boat out on the Des Plaines River. Absolutely insane. And I did that for 11 years. That was like my hobby that I did and the kids were involved in it because the kids were little and they couldn't. Well, my one daughter was singing music with us, but this was what we did for recreation, was the boat. And we did it a lot. There were plenty of times where we went out Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. It wasn't like a lot of people, it seems to me, they have a boat and they'll go out like twice a year. We'd go out twice before Mother's Day. We were constantly on the water. And there was an island for barbecuing and jamming, which made for some really great quality days of spending the time together. Anyway, left over from that adventure, and back when I worked as a CATV cable splicer, I was an aerial lineman. A guy who would climb up a ladder and remove all of the system that runs your cable TV and your internet, and I would reinstall new high broadband. This is like Y2K. So I had access to these deep cell batteries that they would scrap out that were still had a lot of cycles left on them. So I had we had about a dozen deep cells, and they're huge. They're super heavy. This is a lot bigger than a car battery, and it'll kill you if you carry it by yourself. They're just super heavy. So if you have any type of batteries like that, old car batteries, old SLA, sealed lead acid, or deep cells, you can take them into your local, like typically here in Chicago, we have something called AutoZone, and they'll give you store credit. And it's depending on who you get, they might want to try to cheap you, but I've gotten like either 100 or anywhere between $60 and $100 from them. So I buy tools there. Today we went and I got these scissors, which are Duralast titanium scissors. They have a 5-year guarantee or warranty, and they never go dull. These are some great, this is the best pair of scissors I've ever held. And then this, I got this wire stripper, because I've never tried one of these, and it looks like an alligator. So that was today, running errands, dropping off sealed lead acid batteries, cutting wood, spraying wood, and then cutting all the bushes, doing the shrubberies on the apartment. So I had a busy day. Tomorrow's going to be a red letter day here. We got a major event happening. I will more than likely be filming and uploading a video that you're probably going to want to see. So check out that movie. It's called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's a really entertaining, even if you don't like Nicolas Cage, you should watch this movie. It'll win you over. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure if you do have a type of pet that's the type of pet that you're able to pick it up and give it some physical attention or affection, like hug your pets. That's all I'm asking you to do. Give your, if you've got a cat, give your little chickie baby a hug from Petey. Try to stay cool, and peace.